Does anything live?
We are all alive.
Let's do it live.
And we're back.
Woo!
Woo!
Dom, would you be so kind as to put this music into the chat with whatever new musical doohickey we have?
Yes, I can do so. Ooh, good choice. Do you want it with the time stamp or no?
No, sorry.
That is understandable. I believe it is unspecified bot, such that Google won't track this on YouTube and shut our bot down. Shit!
What's wrong?
We gotta get some new music bots.
Oh, it's already been taken down?
Was dead already too?
As of recent events, we've removed YouTube as a supported platform.
I don't understand what.
What's going on?
Google's cracking down. Like, hey, you can't subvert ad block and stuff to play our audio.
Wait, that means that there's no audio on the recordings? Is that what's happening?
Well, so Josh has to play his own audio.
I play my own.
anyways.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
I'm trying
No, but
to...
we can't get music in for us.
Oh.
Well, let's see here.
Okay, while you guys are
More
figuring
dial.
that out,
Yep.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
No? How do I... No? Nope. This other bot does not do YouTube. Alright, folks. End of an era. Open it in your own separate window for now.
Okay.
So that you can subvert YouTube's ad block using your own ad blocker instead of theirs. I will just clear a bunch of these music posts out of here.
Wow, Discord sucks.
Then in that case,
You just play it through Roll20.
no, I don't think Roll20 allows you to do a lot of the music stuff anyway right now either.
That's okay. I'm happy to open it in a separate window. It's just like a little
Yes,
bit
For sure.
more
Here.
obtrusive.
So for tonight, for now, here's the music that I would recommend playing.
Just not with the time. Just reset.
I threw it back to the 0.
What? Put it back to 0? Cause I'm at an hour 46. You want me to go to 0?
Go to 0.
Playing it.
Nope, somebody's is very, very Tyler.
Fixing it.
Thank you. You're beautiful. There's a weird
Sorry about that.
high-pitched whistle coming from Tyler's, or was that just for me? It is
No,
not.
Oh yeah.
Every now and again. I'll let you know if it happens again.
We just did it there.
Jesus, that is some agitation, Josh.
Oh,
your mic is very like whistly.
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 Yep.
Yeah, it's getting some feedback.
Okay, sorry, I'll try and fix it.
I think it was using the wrong mic. I think it was using my webcam. I think we're good now.
It was.
Yeah, we
That
are
sounds
infinitely
much better.
Sorry, thank you.
Tyler, I think your webcam mic is busted. It whistles when you talk.
My chair comes tomorrow, Tyler. I have high
Very
expectations because of your recommendation. So it better be good.
It's a comfy chair. It's a chair.
Try not to choke and die on stream. That'd be weird.
Might get a few more views.
View.
Why? What's wrong with my 10 views, Sean?
Nothing.
You have something
Okay,
wrong?
Jake. Sean.
Yeah.
I knew you were a maverick.
All right, everybody's good. Everybody's settled in.
My dice ready and whatnot. Oh,
All right.
crescendo's happening too.
So, in the last section, each member of the party underwent a trial to earn respect and favor amongst the Goliath clans at the top of the mountain right now. At first, Min stepped forward to undertake
A trial.
Trial of the Viper. A mind trial that inevitably she did succeed and pass, earning herself the name among the Goliath, Min Prismseer. Next stepped forward Aster, undergoing a spirit trial, the trial of self. Aster was face to face in a coliseum with an armored black individual who seemed to mimic his every move. But Aster, instead of fighting back, showed mercy and chose the pacifist road. Passing his own test, Aster received the name Aster Peacebringer. Next, Ruslam stepped forward to take Trial of the Initiate. This trial dictated that Ruslam must face the last person who had completed their own trial in combat. And so, Aster stepped forward and battled against Ruslam, throwing everything that he had at the bugbear. But Ruslam not only did not fight back, but struck himself as well. And right before the final blow could be delivered, the battle was halted. And Ruslam too was given his own name, Ruslam Pacifier. At the same time, Singorn underwent his own trial, the Trial of Fear. Without any warning, Singorn... Damn Tyler's mic. It was still, you're still picking up some music when you walked away, just letting you know. Singorn was broken out of prison by a man who appeared to be one of the Knights of Ashkelon. And he came out to a battlefield where most of the Goliaths had been slain. And suddenly, without warning, it appeared that 2 weeks had passed, with Singorn standing before the king, offering to give him everything he ever wanted, to become High Priest, Sonalar of Moradin. And upon accepting this offer, his insides were racked with pain. An envoy appeared to inform Singorn that he had failed his trial.
I thought the crafter was looking at me when he did that. Sorry.
Sorry?
I thought the crafter was the one who woke the leader of the crafter was the one who was staring at me. Then the envoy informed me, right?
Yes. Sorry, that is correct. That it was in fact. Sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. That it was Dalazar Wisefinder who walked away as this had happened. And finally, Flex chose to undergo 3 trials, one of might, mind, and spirit. First, he braved the trial of birth, crawling through massive gouts of flame, with nary a cloth on his skin. From there, he underwent the trial of the door. Undergoing a series of events, was able to unlock a door through the use of a number of lucky objects. And finally, the trial of the sky, battling another Goliath on top of a massive platform that, as they revealed weapons, slowly began to lose balance. And while Flex bested the other Goliath in battle, he refused to kill him, waiting atop hours, until finally, Kazarin himself on a massive rock flew up, taking the unconscious body, throwing it to the ground, heralding Flex the victor, and earning him the name, which we are officially making canon, Flex Lorewalker.
Hell.
With all of the party members, save for Singorn, no longer nameless, they were welcomed with open arms by the Goliath. A fact that angered, insulted, and was enthused by different members of the party, each having their own thoughts on this step. Between sessions, and for our viewers, there was some discussions with Kazarin on what to do with Singorn. And after some debate with Aster and Kazarin, the Goliath leader decided that he would be allowed to stay on the mountain during what would be a massive feast, followed by a summit and meetings afterward. And that upon that being finished, Singorn would be allowed to descend with you down the mountain freely. But he would not be allowed to set foot in the feast or take place in any of the meetings. And so, there was some discussion with the party on what they wish to ask, and we will open once more, just a few hours before sunset, on that same day where you have all passed your trials. The 5 of you sitting in the jail cell where Singorn still sits in the corner, debating your next move.
Well, we are,
And sorry, just to interrupt for one, the 3 of you, Ruslam, Min, and Ast, have just entered as Singorn and Flex needed to speak to the 2 of them alone first. But now the 3 of you have come and reunited with them.
is it settled? Are we staying here for the feast and then leaving at dusk or dawn?
We're
Singorn
here.
Neither of those answered my question, really.
I mean, at dawn?
Besides the group, or more importantly, besides Flex, are there any Goliaths in earshot nearby, or anything of the sort?
No, there is nobody else within this room. A Goliath guard stands on the opposite end of the side of the door. There is nobody else in the room with the 5 of them.
so he could see me and he could hear me.
Sorry,
guard.
who can? No, the
guard.
guard is on. The guard might be able to hear you from the other side of the door. He cannot see you
Okay.
unless he was looking through the small slot in the door.
So, Singorn is going to wave at Min and point his finger towards his towards the side of his temple, like if he's loco, essentially. But he's insistent on tapping his finger against his helm to Min.
Yeah. I form a psychic bond with the young dwarf.
All right.
Thank you very much, Min. I going to be able to only speak this way here because if I'm not mistaken, since I'm unnamed, I do not have the right to speak either to you. Y'all are named. So this is the only way I could do it. If the guard heard me, I do not wish to know what repercussion may happen. I will respect their rules.
That's bullshit.
Well, it's the law of the land right now. Would you please convey this to the others?
Yeah, I'll tell everybody that Singorn probably can't speak to us because they are nameless.
But
Yeah. I guess actually I'll have to just blow it all. We'll just blow them all.
what? But I came in and talked to you earlier.
Right, but I don't think the guard was there. I think the door was closed, if I'm not mistaken. When we talked, it was private.
What you guys would understand, and maybe if Kazan, they would have explained maybe a little further to you, seeing how we wrapped up last session, that you do have the privilege to speak to Singorn. But when you do, you are doing it as Nameless, not as Goliath. However, the fact that you have names, he may choose to speak to you, but again, he is speaking to you as a Nameless, not as Goliath. So you are in a very, you have dual citizenship essentially.
Gotcha.
So you are able to speak with each other freely, just not in the presence of other true Goliath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, essentially. Yeah,
in this scenario, you are able to talk to each other freely.
Oh, okay. So the guard will not. Okay. Thank you. All right. Congratulations. This seems to be in order. Named ones. Well done.
It's
It
just
was
like a
easy
light
peasy.
thing.
Yeah.
I
Causes me to
ended-
question if these are truly great warriors.
Yeah.
Not all seem to be in the ways of the war. Some be of crafters. That was something I was intrigued to see, but not this time, it would seem.
It's a shame there was no trial of crafting. Or
That
trial.
would have been fun. Nevertheless, what do we plan on doing from here afterwards? I seem to be on the sideline right now. I'll wait here, having conversed with Flex and understanding that despite temperaments, our goal is still singular. And I'm willing. We'll wait for the rest of you to get whatever information you wish to have here. Once that is done, and my stay is no longer welcomed, I would gladly walk down this mountain towards whatever next adventure may lay forth.
I think it was mentioned, and probably a wise idea, that we should return to Bargor Doom and ensure that we have not left behind any more counterfeit gems that might
Aye.
sully our reputation.
Agreed, but I don't think we have anything to give. Our goal was to find more on our way up here to... Oh no, we did pay. We just have to make sure. Right.
Right. Well, I was going to set the jewels for him, and actually I should have in my reminders whether or not I'm doing that.
No, I think we paid up front. Now it's just about the
We
broken
did pay up front. I remembered. So we just gotta check out that we're not, we haven't scammed him instead, actually.
Yep.
Right.
everyone else, do you folk have an idea where we should go? Or a desire after?
Let's
I
worry.
mean, that's part of the questions.
Can we worry about?
I agree. I don't think we don't know what to do. We might be receiving some information here that can change everything.
A wise stance.
Let's just talk to them. Can we just talk to them and get it over with? I'm tired of this place.
The question, I suppose, is if we are planning on leaving this mountain, we do not know of a way down. We were brought here by rocks, and, well, sometimes it's easier to climb than descend if you don't know what's below your feet.
Didn't they say
don't
that
see
they
why
would
not.
let us use the rocks to get down, Sean?
I believe so.
That sounds like something you should ask people.
Yeah, we'll just.
I
It was
believe
one of the
that.
options given to Thingorn, wasn't it? That they would send him
Yeah,
down on a rock.
initially.
Yeah.
Initially.
So let's confirm. And let's be done with this place.
Young Ruslam, I fear, despite having, well, I fear that you seem to be rather on edge. I understand you have a certain dislike for this people, but what is going on exactly?
Not
Please
it.
enlighten us.
Not all of us had to reflect light or kill an unnamed man in the sake of a challenge. Some of us were asked to kill of our friends.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
simple
quite a
for
challenge
some.
Indeed.
more difficult for others.
Fair
That's-
point. Very fair point. And do
Yeah, but you
believe
passed
them?
without killing, so did they really ask you to?
Yes, they did. They asked me to kill him. And instead, I said I would take my own life.
It's very noble. I'm proud of you.
Oh,
Yes.
there's nothing to be proud of. It was the decision
in-
any one of you would have made as well. But it's
Pride in
easy to
anything
say,
else doesn't matter.
it's
in this.
easy in hindsight to say that this was simple. But
I see that you're keeping an eye out for the future and for all the possibilities.
it doesn't matter at this point. Let's continue on with our quest. We all survived. Some more so than others.
Okay.
Singorn, is there, before we leave to join this honored feast, is there anything else that you would have to say that is best said here rather than in a method perhaps that you could speak at the feast?
I am not even going to be at the feast, good friend. I am not invited. Laws of the land, do not forget.
Oh, but you will be with us in spirit.
I wish to be. But most likely, I shall contemplate and reflect upon all these events that have happened. And if you perchance happen to have a book, I would gladly take one. Just saying. This might be a long night.
Oh, I do. Would you like to borrow Mythomance's Introduction to Aristotle, a global biography including cliff notes, additional research subjects, and an overview of geographical terms?
I might forge something instead.
Well, I suppose if I have any questions for you, I will just think upon my faith and what Moradin would say, and I will have my answer, no?
I appreciate. You know, despite your aversion towards metal, I appreciate your openness towards Moradin's ways.
I am in a very open relationship with all of the gods, so don't you fear.
True. Min, how about you?
You want a book?
No, not necessarily. More so, I was wondering, how are you feeling in the circumstances? Reslam has made his emotions and his wants clear, and I appreciate that.
These people have asked us to show us why they should respect us, but I have seen nothing of why I should respect them.
True, but maybe this will be the moment they will do so. Listen, they have hard ways. Law of the strong. Something I quite admire, to be honest. It's just a shame that I wasn't able to attain that level with you all. I would love to be there, but fate would seem has different minds for me. And I would love if you could maybe sneak me a little something afterwards, men, from the feast. Just a little something.
I don't know. I don't have a lot of pockets on this outfit.
It's very true.
I
You
can,
got cold
I
weather
can bring you
clothes on.
something.
Yeah.
Cloak?
Singlord, I will bring you something, but no need to sneak. I'll just take.
Okay. Just do
That
it. Actually,
seems like a better answer. Well, as for everyone else, Flex, it appears that the four of us have less than a stellar reception of your, albeit distant, kin.
Mm-hmm.
What is your perspective on the matter?
On which? Exactly.
On the Goliaths, on staying for a time? Are you just here to ask questions and go? Do you wish to befriend these Goliaths and join in them to bring an army down?
I mean, no.
Why, I just ask. That's all.
I mean, it really depends on the questions, now, doesn't it?
I think it
What,
Are
depends.
you impressed?
Sorry, all three of us at one time.
I think what my friend's trying to ask, Flex, is do they remind you of your people at home? Or
Yeah.
if we are stuck here, is this a place where you would live?
Oh, most definitely.
For the questions tonight, perhaps, what is your best case scenario? And a worst case while we're at it.
Best case scenario, they know of some way to get out of here. Worst case scenario, they offer us no useful information.
Either way,
I guess, worst case scenario would be, we somehow manage to fuck this up completely and then they murder us all and turn us into soup. That's the worst case.
What an oddly specific worry.
making enemies.
It's cold up here.
Cool.
We like soup.
I like a good bowl of soup as well.
Agreed.
Why don't we wait for their answers before we attempt to make a decision? Trying to decide on what to do next based off on what ifs is fruitless.
But I don't know. They're friendly enough. I like them.
Oh, friendly enough.
Aster will kind of interrupt. Well, I suppose then we should get heading to the feast. Singorn, you have things to forge. We have a feast to feast upon.
Aye. Bon appetit, as the dwarves say.
But yes, friendly enough. They didn't need to bring us up here. And they didn't need to bend the rules to say that we passed.
How did they bend the rules to say that we passed?
Well, you were going on about like, oh, I had to kill a friend. You didn't, and you passed.
If the king below had done the same things as the Goliaths up here had, would you be as lenient to him?
If the trials were done by the king, would he have let you live or Ruslam live?
You don't
If
know that.
I'm saying if
No,
he
no,
had-
no, no. I'm saying in that situation.
The king could have just let me die. This man, Cloud Hunter, could have just let me die.
He could have, but he didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying the king would have.
you don't know that.
the
Are
king
you
chose,
gonna?
the
are
king
you
chose
sure
not
about
to
that?
execute
You're-
us, but you have neglected to answer my question, and we don't need to resolve this at this point. We have a feast to go to, but if the king had treated us in the exact same way of the Goliaths, if all of this situation was the exact same, the leniency and everything else, but instead of Cloud Hunter it was Damokos, how would you be right now?
I'd be fine if it got us the answers we need. There's a
Alright.
lot of moving parts here. Not everything's black and white.
And why
I-
do you act like
I
it is?
heavily agree.
Oh, that's okay. They're not friendly. That was a weird form
We're all
of
still
torture.
breathing.
Some
I
of us
also-
more
also-
than others.
And I
If
mean,
that's the metric, then Ashfelt and Damokos have been quite friendly enough to us as is.
well, I'm also
breathing.
going to point to Sigorn, who failed. And do you remember when we came up here what the results were for failure?
Yes, and we
Enslavement
lied.
or death.
We also lied to the king to his face, and we've seen what happens to those who displease the king.
Yes, but we came up here. We were told if we fail these trials, we will be enslaved or killed. He failed, and he's been nothing. And they said you can't stay. He can stay here because we're here, and they were willing to take him down the mountain.
Then perhaps these Goliaths aren't as principled as they seem. You know, their tests are as flighty as their whims, but
Who else? Did anyone else here not know that their test was starting? Anyone? Were you not taken away from your cell and said your test will start soon? Sigorn was the only one who had no idea that his test had even begun. So do not for
I mean,
a
it was pretty
moment.
obvious that the test had begun, but okay.
Again, hindsight
you-
is simple.
you did not experience the test. I think that is not your judgment or Ruslam's judgment to make, just the facts of the matter. That Singorn, as he said, was not quite sure of the situation. No offense, Singorn.
I appreciate the sake of argument, but I believe that the food's getting cold, boys and
Hey.
girl. Maybe you're all a bit irate because these mountain climbers quite took a toll on our stomachs. Go ahead and feast. We'll have a council again once more. At the time right now, I believe that they're waiting on you, and valuable information may be pried from their minds.
We will return for you, Zealot and Moradin.
But
All
Well-
right.
To the feast.
And with conversation finished, you all make your way out of the jail through the encampment once more, which is much more sparsely busy than it was prior. There are no training sessions that appear to be going on. You can still see some guards, people defending on some of the taller fortified ramparts. But most of the city, town, whatever you would like to call it, looks empty. As you approach the tallest building in town, the 3-story, almost fortress on the northern side of the valley, you can hear sounds coming from inside. Banging and booming of drum. And if you would all like to switch to this.
Hey, I will gladly.
oh,
As you enter the building, you find yourself in a massive stone hall. A huge, over 100-foot long stone table across the entire floor, with Goliaths on all sides. drinking and feasting. You see across the table all sorts of roasts, though no roast of anything. This isn't chicken, this is not a turkey. These appear to be some type of larger creature, perhaps a boar or something like that, and others even larger. The most prominent meat on the entire table takes up about a solid 15-20 foot spot on the table and appears just to be a massive circular rump of some type of meat. On the side next to it, a massive tail that appears almost fish-like in nature. All around, there are warriors clad in paint, tattoos, the same white paint that you've seen before, playing drums and dancing. And as the four of you enter, a roar and a cheer goes up around. Hazarin, sitting on a stone throne above everybody, steps down, a large glass of mead in his hand. Today, we have 4 new brothers and sisters, comrades at arms. It has been a long time since outsiders have earned a name amongst our people. And no more will these 4 ever be considered outsiders among us. They are friends, and they are family. And today, we celebrate their accomplishments and their trials. And you see a bunch of cheers go up. Most of them seem to be calling Talor Walker. As you come in, you're going to see a few Goliath women, scantily clad, wearing simple beads covering their more private parts, are going to place thick cloaks around each of you. Cloaks that appear to be made of some type of wolf skin. Around you, Flex, a massive cloak that appears to be built from a cloaker, shining and shimmering from your shoulders, following all the way down to right before your feet.
Nice.
And Kazan approaches. And now, one last tradition before festivities get underway. It is time for me to make the 4 of you soup.
Okay.
And from his back...
Is there a comma in that sentence?
Kazarin is going to wield and pull out his massive greatsword, the obsidian black rock's head scabbard. And he's going to raise his sword high above and turn to the table, splitting off a massive piece of the roast. It is tradition for initiates to have the first slice. We soak this in the juices of the flying whale and mix it with a very thick, strong ale and wine and grog. It is a tradition that you must drink the entire bowl. Relax and enjoy. And once the festivities end, we will speak further. The 4 of you are each given a large clay bowl, a large piece of this beef just like sitting in it, like half of it like outside of the bowl. Inside the bowl itself, the juices is a thick brown liquid, and you can see oils just like percolating and like bubbling through the mixture as well. It smells somewhat sweet, but also incredibly salty.
Is Wisefinder in the room?
Yeah, in the room as well. You do see the naked body of Desiree Wisefinder as well as the large, broad-shouldered figure of a Mallet Stoneleaper as well, leaders of the Tribe of the Moon and the Tribe of the Chisel, respectively. Delazar appears just to be sitting off to one side on the table, a few pouch of rocks that she seems to be throwing onto the table, looking at, and then picking up and then throwing once more.
If Aster would like to catch her eye and sign to her in Druidic,
What if I must abstain for religious reasons?
from the soup, he'll gesture towards the soup.
Oh.
Delazar will respond in kind. Will it kill you?
Aster will shake his head, but sign back, will you?
It would be considered extremely rude to forsake this part now. It would be a great insult onto Cloudhunter and his house.
Aster will nod and sign back, thank you.
Flex has already eaten soup.
All right. Can I have everybody make a Constitution saving throw for me, please?
It was poisoned. You're missing the dwarf.
Dwarves get advantage.
This is
If I
actually
get
the-
poisoned,
This is
eating
actually the
soup.
test right now.
I got a 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that fat 11 and 1.
17.
Alright. Constitution. 20 not nat.
All right. Flex, you and Ruslam both finish and eat the soup. The meat by the end becomes very soggy and almost easy just to slurp up by itself, starting to stretch and rip apart. The meat itself is quite blubbery, but after being soaked in the soup for some time, actually becomes fairly malleable and easy to swallow. Aster, you grunt through and you force yourself through the soup. It is incredibly bitter, and the tastes of meat certainly are difficult for you to stomach. You feel slightly buzzed by this as well, the
Aster
alcohol.
will eat it very slowly. Just dancing on the edge of, like, do people seem disgruntled?
Sure. As long as you appear to be eating, nobody appears to be giving you much of a look for a year. Min?
It's good soup.
You take quite a large first mouthful, and the alcohol-infused soaked blubber just appears to stick with you, and within the next hour, you find yourself quite inebriated.
Right.
Almost to the point of feeling slightly high and dizzy from the concoction. You start to sweat profusely from your head.
Okay.
And so, the festivities continue on. Ruslam, you're going to have a Goliath is going to come up behind you. Goliath is going to come up behind you, Ruslam, and put you into a headlock. I thought that you were surely going to deliver the final blow onto yourself there.
I'm just gonna look over at him, and I'm gonna grab him by his hands. I'm gonna flip him up over my back, and just say, "Don't sneak up on me."
Make an athletics roll for me, please.
Oh my god. I don't have my sheet up.
I think you have plus 11 on athletics.
Plus 11?
Yep.
Just roll a d20 for me.
So I got a 29.
Okay. As you grab this fellow, you turn and toss him over your shoulder. He flips, and he is going to land on the side of the table. He is going to crash into the stone table and a couple goblets are going to spill into the air and are going to land on a few nearby passersby, as well as a bag of potatoes is going to roll to the ground.
I'm gonna walk over to him.
My cabbages.
I'm gonna grab his hand and pull him up, and just say,
I guess we were lucky it was my friend out there and not you.
I would say, and as you laugh there, even before, the moment this fellow hits the table, you're going to hear a roar of laughter and a cheer upon this. As at the same time, a few other Goliaths are going to turn to each other and start to spar, getting into full-on fist fights with each other.
well, I wasn't expecting that.
Around this time, Flex. A Goliath is going to come up to you. His arm in a full sling. His face and his eyes bruised. He wears no clothes on him save for a simple loincloth, and you can see that his back appears to be whipped. Freshly.
Okay.
Greetings, Flex Lorewalker.
Greetings.
You may not remember me from my helm. We fought atop the stone tower.
Yeah, that just happened. Kind of hard to forget. How you doing?
I am Shaigal Keenfighter.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
It was a challenge that I failed against you, and punishment should have been death. But that was not the end of my story, apparently. And so, I still punished myself for losing in battle. But I hope to one day have the privilege to try and kill you myself.
Well, when you're feeling better, and if you're feeling froggy, you can take the leap. But I'll tell you right now, you're gonna get your fucking head caved in.
Shaigal's going to have a big grin at you and extend his arm towards yours.
And I'll do the same.
And so, most of the evening goes like this. Drinks are had, food is eaten. You hear stories from other Goliaths recounting their trial.
Anytime the fighting starts to erupt a little bit around Aster, he will just surreptitiously cast a quick little sanctuary on himself. Just as he sits there slowly eating his stew.
On himself?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, just in case, the fighting gets big and Aster can't flip somebody like Ruslam can.
Wants to have a little extra protection there.
Yep, just every now and again, okay, I don't need to get punched in the muff right now. These people may or may not still kill me.
Sure. After some time, Malice Stoneleaper, leader of the tribe of the Chisel, is going to approach Yumin. How are you enjoying Goliath customs?
Food's good.
You have shown yourself to be a strong member. There were many who expected you to not have the capability.
Because I'm a girl?
Because you're short.
I'm short. However, that one.
You don't have much meat on your bones.
Well, that's why I didn't take the strength test, you fucking idiot.
You know.
Besides, who said that strength? Who said meat was important? You guys thinking swinging your meat around?
There are many ways to show strength. The vipers that you faced I designed myself.
Oh, why?
Because I craft and I build.
You like colors?
There is beauty on this mountain, even in shades of gray, but something more vibrant, very different for many in our tribe.
Then why is it a test? What if they're colorblind? What if I was colorblind? I just lose, right? Like I wouldn't be worthy. That seems like a weird random thing.
Then you would be able to try again on the next full moon, or the next full moon.
It's the same challenge? I don't think you understand what colorblindness is.
You would be given another challenge if you fail a challenge in our tribe. You are able to try a challenge once every full moon.
What about the guy that Flex beat? I mean, that guy lost the challenge. So does he lose his name?
He has already earned his name.
Well, if you can earn your name, you could just as much earn it. This is right.
There are those who have lost their name. But if one stands prepared to do what is necessary, losing in battle will not ever dishonor one. If you choose to have the courage to stand and fight, that shows honor and strength.
Yeah, but I mean, Aster didn't fight, and I mean, Reslam kind of fought himself. I wasn't really fighting. You guys are weird.
Strength in sword is not the only strength, and the strength to
You
not.
said that already, bud.
Then I do not understand how you not know how those of you call your companions today showed strength themselves.
He said they gotta stand and fight and be courageous, but they didn't stand and fight. I mean, you could say they're courageous, I guess. But, like, you guys have slaves. That's not very courageous.
We keep no such slaves. We have no slaves. Who?
That guy, I gotta point at the guy. He said that if we lost our challenges, that we would be enslaved. And then you had that imp thing talk. That what do they call a Mephit? He was talking to us. He seemed like a slave.
Envoy is but a familiar. We keep no such slaves. And with that, Malice is going to turn and walk away from you.
No. That guy said that you guys had slaves, man. Go walk over. You said that you guys had slaves.
Kazan's gonna look. I do not believe that I said such a thing.
Oh, he's a liar.
I may have implied, death certainly. Slavery would also be a fate worse than death for some. If you chose to back down, knowing that a life of enslavement was a risk, then you would not have passed the trials. But willing to face the trials while dealing with such a potential threat also shows your worthiness.
And how are you worthy? What happens when you guys are born?
When we reach the age of adulthood, we each undergo a trial ourselves.
Reslam's
Two of your challenges cause people to die. That's can't be good for your population.
Reslam's gonna see that this is kind of getting heated, and he's gonna come on over and put his arm around Min.
Hairy guy.
Let's go grab you some bread.
Oh, I like bread. It's crummy.
Uh-huh.
Not everyone can handle their soup.
Good soup.
Clearly.
It was really good soup.
Bastard's still like 2/3 of the way through his bowl.
Well, everybody's distracted. Well, actually, Flex is going to take a look around. Are people distracted by Min right now?
Oh, not everyone. There's a small group of Goliaths in the area as Min is, while Min may appear to believe that she's whispering, she's downright yelling, these things, earning a few turds towards, but there's a bit of a crowd over, but
It's never happened to my
there's a
wife
number of
before.
people-
Wait, what?
Ingrid, stay on guard. These guys are liars. They might come and kill you in the middle of the night.
Okay.
What? They're gonna attack me?
Um.
Is everything okay?
Mostly, is anybody looking at Aster?
Make a perception roll.
You got it. I believe that'll be 10.
Also, like, if you wanna, we could stay here for like 28 days. Like, one of my lady cycles. And
God damn it, Tyler.
Is this the thing when you're saying this mentally, or what is this?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Okay,
he doesn't
quick
know what's
Google.
going on. He doesn't even know.
No, we gotta Google something here because I don't know about dwarf women. Like, would Singorn understand that? What about dwarf women? Do dwarf women have? Okay, anyway.
28 days.
With a 10 flex, nobody appears to have their eye specifically on Aster right now.
Okay, how about me?
With your 10, there are a number of people on and around you. You are Flex Lore Walker, and every young Goliath wants to speak to you right now. You're crazy. You're an absolute madman. I've never seen anything like that. The way you just went up there, just grabbed all three, not a second thought.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. God damn it! I was gonna eat your soup. I'm sorry, Dom.
Yeah, I suspected you go do that.
Oh, Aster's slowly working through his soup.
You just sometimes you gotta go for it and challenge yourself.
When I have an offspring, I'm going to teach them and prepare them to do the same thing. I have my own little Lord Walker.
Lore Walker is a big proponent of consent, so make sure the kid's actually able to do it. We don't want somebody stepping up and just biting off a bigger piece than they can chew, you know what I mean? They could be good at a lot of things. It just happens that I'm good at everything.
Also, during the evening, before we get to Flex, we'll go to Flex first. There are going to be over the course of the evening, a number of women that approach.
Mhm.
These women will speak with you quite frankly.
Yeah.
Lord Walker, you are strong in body, in mind, and spirit. I would be honored if you would put your seed within me.
Like a pump and dump? Like, that's it? Where's the romance?
There are some who choose life mates amongst us, but we breed for the strongest people. So while Flex ponders that predicament, Delazar Wisefinder is going to walk up to you, Aster,
Just about to sign stuff to her. Never mind.
in her naked splendor, save for the few beads and wolf fur around her neck.
Aster will look down at his clothes state and jokingly apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not know exactly what the benches would be made of, and I did not want any splinters up my furry arse.
How fare you after your trial, young Peacebringer?
My trial was fine.
Your senses have fully come back to you?
Well, I suppose that'd be the case unless this also be part of the trial. The magic that seems to have been used for most of us is quite magnificent.
There is no magic at use here. Not in your sense, anyway.
But magic in some sense.
Nothing but herbs mixed together in the correct way. Elixirs and potions mixed together.
Then how do you know that we passed or failed if all that happened is within our heads?
Because guilt and regret are powerful things. And, of course, there is magic to witness what you saw. But everything that happened to you was nothing but fumes fanned through the vents.
I understand. I wouldn't have assumed as much, but it was that or magic that influenced the mind and brought out our own visions from within ourselves. Influenced, of course, as per the magic's instructions, but that's beyond my query, I suppose.
While the potions do most of the work, when it comes down, it is truly what is manifesting your own fears, doubts, desires in your own subconscious that were brought forward.
I did find my quest very suitable, as were some of the others, but that is only to be expected. We are guided by the stars, and he will nod, the moon, and their other celestial bodies. They pull our destiny, they pull our tide.
That is a way to look at things.
That is the truth of the matter. Or else how could it be written down in my chronicle?
I could write in your chronicle right now that you became King of the Goliath. That would not make it true, would it not?
Wouldn't it? Maybe not here amongst the Goliaths, but elsewhere it might make it true.
Perhaps. And that is why written word must always be taken with a grain.
So must spoken word, for the same reason. I could head down to the lands of the people below, say that I were the king of the Goliaths. Perhaps not myself, that's a little too far-fetched, but Flex over there perhaps could be seen as such.
Which is why in our tribe, actions are what truly govern and define. You could have killed your friend today. You chose not to. It was not that she bested you, did not beg for mercy. You chose to fight, and you chose to show mercy. That was an action that defined you today.
And you chose to place us in that circumstance. It says quite a lot, Wise Finder.
Indeed. Which is why we look to an person's actions on how we choose to judge them. However you choose to judge me is out of my control, for I will not change my actions to you.
That is entirely untrue, but I and my companions aren't necessarily here for a philosophical discussion. Unless, of course, you wish to spend some time gazing up at the stars with me from high upon this mountain's peak, for there will be much to be discerned of this world, this magic that we are so unfamiliar with for me and my people. For my circle back home, a land far away, over the sea, over the fog, over another sea.
Perhaps another time. I am not one to look at the stars and ask for their guidance. I look at the stars and choose my own fate from that.
I suppose I should not ask you to tell my companions this, but in essence, I think those two choices are one and the same. But, I would like to ask you a few questions. You seem very wise, very knowledgeable, and while you may not trust the written word or the spoken word, I will trust what you say about perhaps the fog and the people below. Do you and your people know of the fog that surrounds the lands below these mountains? Or the sea around these lands, I should say.
Yes. Even though we live in our own civilization here, we know full well of the mist.
And do you know how long it has been around? Who created it? The myths of the people below and the truth behind them?
This is where our logic, how we choose to see things and how the Nameless choose to see things differs. The Nameless would tell you that it was Ager who cast the mists around this island, this continent, to protect the people from the demons that plagued the other land.
That
But
is as much as we've been told, indeed.
We see the mists as an entity amongst themselves, though. Something that has always been here, just as the mountains have always been here. The mists came, and so they are still here.
And what of the time when this land was part of another? Do your people have traditions that go back that far? Thousands of years, millennia, perhaps more?
It was well over 2,000 years ago, so the stories say. But all those other lands no longer exist. Or if they do, they are plagued by demon kind.
Well, would you trust the truth of my word? Or is it only word that may be false? There are no actions I can give you that will prove the state of the world beyond this world.
You may say what you wish, and I may or may not believe you. But if you cannot show me, and if I cannot stand there and see the land with my own eyes, then how am I to trust?
Well, at best I can show you the differences in the stars. And Aster will pull out his star maps. There's like a huge section of the table he starts to like shift aside. He's a little tipsy at this time, so he's getting like a little bit fervent in this. Especially because nobody in the party ever shows interest. It's not that she has shown interest, but that's her problem now. Aster will like clear a section for some of his star maps, some from his circle, some from his parents, and then some that he's worked on himself. And he will point out like that whole sort of northern section of the stars that are missing, and this new section that he's begun to fill in. And I guess present that as evidence that there is something that exists beyond, and that's kind of as far as he'll go.
Okay. I'm here. This conversation will go on for a little while as well, but eventually things begin to die down for the evening, with Goliath either drunk and unconscious, beaten up and unconscious, or slowly stumbling their own ways out. And then there's only going to be 3 people left in the chamber with, 4 people left in the chamber with the 4 of you. Kazarin, his packmate, the one who was signing to him that she was Biza, a diamond finder, Malice Stoneleaper, and Delazar Wisefinder. Kazarin will approach the 4 of you, offering each of you a small bowl with a dark green, almost reddish-hued liquid inside. Here, drink 1 sip, each of you. He looks to Min. 2 sips
Min's
for
already
you.
downed it.
Make a Constitution save.
Flex will take a sip.
Make a Constitution save for me, Min.
In what sense?
If you're downing the entire thing, he offered you to take a.
He said take a sip. I'll take a glug.
Oh, okay, okay. Sorry.
It'll be, it'll probably be, quite a big sip.
Yeah, no, you don't need to take a con then.
Yeah, no, I'm not downing the whole thing. Just take a sip.
Okay.
It's not gonna. I'm not treating it like it's poison either. I'm gonna take a mouthful.
A real sip. Each of you winces as this burns down your esophagus into your stomach. And as it does, your mind starts to clear a little bit. A bit of the headache remains and the stinging of the alcohol before, but you are, for all intents and purposes, entirely sober once more. If we are going to speak, it should be done so with clear head. And as he says this, Kazarin is going to go to the side and grab a large tankard of ale and fill it up for himself once more. Now, come this way and we will speak further. And Kazarin will lead you into another small room. This one very much like the picture that I had sent earlier today.
Aster,
large-
as we go to move, we'll just put a very gentle hand on Ruslam's shoulder and just give him like a questioning, because Aster's been kind of tangled up in his own thoughts for the last little bit. He just wants to see how Ruslam's doing. Josh,
Yeah. I'm here.
how is Ruslam?
He's fine. You look at him and what's the exact question?
Aster just like takes a look and just is attempting to judge Ruslam's state.
Give me a perception check. No, I'm just kidding.
Sure. You got God damn it. I rolled an 18, so 25.
Damn it.
Big roll, buddy.
So I'm gonna pull a quick DM move. You okay with this, Sean? Is this okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so as you kind of peer into the eyes of the tall beast, you can see very flat, almost no emotion, but the longer you look, you see a deep sadness behind his eyes and an anger that he's trying to hide from the entire group.
Yep. Aster will just place a hand on Ruslam's shoulder and let's go in and maybe we can ask some questions and then perhaps get an early start on the day tomorrow to head to Bargordum and make sure our promises are kept.
Let's just hope we get what we've come for.
I think we already have. We head into the chamber.
All right. Stand the roof 2 stories above you. Large stone chandeliers with gouts of flame in them, providing the illumination down below. The large table, a massive diamond-shaped table made of 2 triangular-shaped tables pushed together, leaving a small opening in the top and the bottom. Kazarin, Biza sit in 2 chairs at the head of the table, while Malith sits beside Kazarin. And Delazar simply leans against the wall. Kazarin motions for the 4 of you to sit. So,
What are
let's
the
get to
chairs?
matters.
Sorry.
The chairs are all full, complete with stone.
Okay. Aster will not thank one as he sits down.
So, let's get to the brass tack. The 4 of you claim to not be from here, be from beyond the mist. Dalazar has told me of your maps, Peacespringer.
They hold as much truth as anyone living or dead upon these places. And I suppose as well I have journals that show proof of this as well. Ancient, from a temple to a god now declared a heresy by the people below. A god who should not exist in this place yet still answers my prayers.
All of these would be compelling evidence, but I will hear none of it. For I believe what the 4 of you tell me. And I choose to trust the 4 of you. You have come up to this mountain. You have risked life and limb to face me and our tribes. And you have not asked for any gold, any riches, anything on behalf of the king.
Fuck the king.
And what has this King of the Nameless done to you?
It's not what he's done to me. I just don't like I don't like how they do things. Like, okay, if I wanted to be ruler of the tribe, I'd have to beat you in a fight, right?
Yes. In the simplest of forms, yes.
But well, I challenge you, right? Yeah.
And I would decide if you are worthy or not for me to choose to accept or not.
Fair enough. Down there, he's just born. They're like, okay, he's king. That's dumb. He's got people down there that he rules over, but takes so much, because you know how humans are, they're all about their money. He takes so much money they can't even feed themselves. Like, what kind of ruler is that?
And
He
so
takes
what do
care
you-
of himself first, not the good of the tribe.
Emissaries from the king will come up here from time to time. Speak and ask of goings on. There is only one amongst them who has actually wished and has passed our trials, and we will speak to fully. The others will send their own emissaries, familiars and the like, to speak for them, but only one of them we have given our respect to, and that's Ashfeld Pactmaker.
We've run into that guy.
Wait, he's named? Sorry, I'm not there.
Min is
Also, yeah, Jared, for this, assuming with the psychic link going, with Min potentially relaying things through it, feel free to speak at any time you want, and I will be assuming that it will be speaking through that.
I don't know if that's going to work. Min's kind of. Oh no, she's no longer drunk. Yes, that's true.
Message it to me though,
Okay, yeah.
because Min would not say everything that Sigrun wants.
Yeah,
to
that's what
say.
I'm thinking. I don't think Single would
Yeah.
be able to. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I see. But would you be relaying every single word? Just to.
No. That's what I'm saying. Message it to me, and I will.
No, I mean,
For sure.
would you relay what they're saying to me is what I'm saying. Singlern's in the middle.
Yeah.
There can,
Okay.
depending what it is, you know, there's. I can assume people can metagame some things and assume
Okay.
they're not actually hearing. I do want to give Jared a chance to be a part of this.
Well, I am kind of with Min, but
That's-
yes, I appreciate that though. Thank you. But yeah, definitely, Singlern would then definitely, because he's not named, and hearing Ashfeld is what was it again?
Pactmaker.
Pactmaker. Yeah. He would definitely mention to the others that, well, if he can, through Min, Ashfeld is fucking named.
Min were like, yeah.
Oh, God.
He said he did the pact thingy. He did the trial.
Would you happen to know what trial he did?
And that doesn't matter.
But other emissaries from the king, this nameless king, come. They will.
You get
bear
the
witness-
title, but no name.
So easy
mean,
for you to
that's
understand. We do not bow to this king. I simply use the name Nameless King to recognize, make it easier to understand who I speak of here.
Okay.
They say they wish to check our food supplies and living situations, but in truth, they want to investigate our forces to see if there is any way that we are moving against them, preparing an army to come down the mountain to them, like happened so long ago.
Oh,
Hmm?
that's a tad bit interesting. Care to share the tale?
Decades ago, coming up close to 40 years now, there used to be, in the Four Brothers Mountains, there were 9 tribes. There is currently 8 of us. There is the tribe of the rock, tribe of the chisel, the tribe of the moon that dwell here on Mount Renault. On Mount Erebrand, the tribe of the Dreamwalkers and the tribe of the Echoes. On Mount Simo, the tribe of the Watchers and the tribe of the Lakebed. And on Mount Savar, there is the tribe of the Blade, and there was the 9th tribe. The tribe of Ager. That chose to worship Ager as their own. Not the Ager that those on the land worship, but their own in their own right. That they would take this god, make it their own, and that they would march down and take it back from the king. And so about 4 decades ago, about 300 Goliath came down the mountain and prepared to wage war on Aerillon. And they were all slaughtered. They weren't able to even make it to the city walls. Massive tentacles rose up from the ground, enveloped and swallowed them. And the warriors of the king came and finished the job. Their bodies now lay underneath what is now known as the Hollow Mines. It was originally designed as an execution pit for my kind. Once they finished, with all the warriors who had come down, the king sent his men up Mount Savar and slaughtered every man, woman, and child left of the tribe of Ager on that mountain. And so, since no other tribe has risen or spoken out against the Nameless King,
And what has Ashfelt implied?
Ashfeld, his statements are clear. We stay upon our mountain. We may do as we please. We do not need to bow to the king. We do not need to profess anything of him. We simply stay to our community here, and our people will have no trouble from him.
Oh, so in other words, you ran.
We are warriors and we are fighters. But if you stood against an unstoppable force in front of you, if you had the option fighting or choosing to live and protect your family, which would you choose? To die needlessly?
The answer was a simple yes. You ran. Justify it
If
how
it
you
were to
like.
come up in a trial of yours, would you fail? Would you choose to run and defend your family?
Would you choose to fight under overwhelming odds against people who have no respect for you?
You today passed your trials by choosing not to lift a finger upon each other. You decided that in those moments, that peace and respect for your enemy was the better path.
Y'all are pacifists? I'm so... He slaughtered an entire tribe.
Yes, he did.
Is this
I'll know, according to you, that would be them defending themselves, so it's not really a slaughter.
Women and children?
An entire tribe came down to pick a fight, and they
300
lost.
soldiers went down, and the king sent his army up the mountain to kill the women and the children. Do you think so little of me to think that that is a just response?
Sometimes, yep.
We value strength, and up here the strongest survive. But we are smart enough to recognize there are some battles that you cannot win. And so instead of choosing to not only risk myself in a fight against this force, but to risk every woman and child who do not choose to engage in that fight themselves, we have chosen that this is our home. And if the king ever...
To have you fight again?
Chance at victory.
Ah, this place is just like your trials. Smoke and mirrors. Are we going to ask our questions? Or we continue to stand here to listen to this bullshit? Holier than thou bullshit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you lost the tribe, but you attacked, you were forced back, and you gave up. In my mind, you may have passed a trial once, but you've lost the most important one.
Be that as it may, young pacifier. I have a responsibility to these people for them to live and to protect them. I cannot choose to wage a war and do that at the same time.
You picked war first.
No, 300 picked war first. One tribe went down. One tribe decided they wanted to pick a fight. And the giant tentacles came down.
All right, we're getting lost
came up.
here, guys. We had some questions. You said that the mist has always been there. You have no records from before this mist. Obviously, this tribe that died worshipped Ager before the nameless ones did. So there is a passage of time before Ager.
They did not worship him before the nameless ones. They took up the name as a mockery of Ager.
And then Ager promptly shut them down.
Thank you.
So we have a dickhead king with actually seems to have the power of a god on his side.
Yeah, many of us have powers of gods on our side.
Can you summon tentacles from the ground to wipe out 300 people?
Oh, his is more direct. Well, it could also not necessarily be a god. There are spellcasters out there who have the might to decimate entire armies with but a word. I've never heard the tales. Ager could be a myth entirely and just the work of a sufficiently powerful mage, but that is a theory left better for a different time. And perhaps not here.
That's a fair point.
Aster, just to test your memory, your knowledge right now.
Yep.
Because you've learned a few things about the Damokos family tree and the hierarchy.
Correct.
What do you know right now about how long you believe Lucius Damokos has been in power?
Lucius Damokos in specific?
It's less
Or
than 40 years.
Damokos family.
Specifically Lucius Damokos.
I know that we are... Oh, fuck. Well, what year are we in?
We are in the year 34 LD.
34 years. So, roughly 6 years after the Goliaths attacked, then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I lied. That's actually a lie. Sorry, 19 LD.
Okay, then that would be the number. I'm trying to check through all my notes here where that is.
His papa did all the bad Goliath killing.
Yeah. Like father, like son, perhaps.
So I have a quick rebuttal then to this whole idea of we don't like this king because he just got it by birth. We probably don't like this king because of his actions, but he clearly is taking it via some form of force. If he can summon tentacles, he could take over. I'm assuming he's
the
a
previous king summoned the tentacles.
yeah. So I'm assuming that
But-
King of Throne was probably established in some way in regards to magical strength. Magical? Mystic? I don't know words.
I mean, they're saying it's divine birthright, so the tentacles thing, for all we know, is the god being like, yep, this family. Or at least that's might be what they're trying to imply.
Yeah, it could be. Another possibility, though, potentially remote, is that what we know is a lie, and it was only this current king and his father that served Ager.
How long was his
Do your
father in
people-
power?
57 years. Do your people know of the Damokos line and how long it has gone into the past when Ager first blessed them? About Hunter Wisefinder.
For the last 2,000 years. As long as the mists have surrounded this island, Damokos has ruled.
Has anyone tried to go into the mist?
No Goliaths have. I know no stories myself.
Any tales of planar travel? Of magic that can cross the boundaries of this realm?
This is not magic that we know.
Understood.
Has anyone come through the mist before? Have you heard of stories of others like us?
No. That is the fact of anybody passing into or out of the mist. There is something about, there must be a power that you have that allowed you to pass through, which is why I would choose to trust you.
Well, it is as I have told Wisefinder. Our tide is moored to the stars themselves, and they have drawn us here for a reason.
Do you wish to wage war on this nameless king? And then, by the way, if I say Damokos or anything, it's nameless king.
Yeah.
Aster will look to his friends. To the three of you, because we do not have a dwarf here.
I am not necessarily okay. Full disclosure. I don't think everybody here wants to do that, but I do. But my number one goal is trying to find a way back home. And then once people that want to go home, then yeah, I'm gonna take that little king's head and I'm gonna fucking rip it off his body.
Muslim?
You already know my answer.
As he just stands there sharpening his axe
He pulled it out.
for just that moment.
You want to settle down here and open a smithy?
Everybody gets one, Sean. Was that your one?
Yeah.
Min? It has been a little while since we touched base.
We're a long way from that. We're a long way from everything. I don't know. I just want to move forward.
You don't want to die. Not for no reason, at least, eh?
I've yet to see somebody worthy of ruling the land.
That is a wise objection. So perhaps our first task would be to find somebody capable of ruling. Or for one of us to become somebody capable of ruling. Aster will look to Ruslam, give him a big old grin.
Or we could just let the chips fall where they lie.
And if more people die because of that?
I mean, if we join up with the resistance against the king, they might have some ideas.
Yeah. Perhaps, if they are any better.
I
Hey,
feel
are there
like
dragons in this land?
Oh yeah, dragons.
Like, we saw the sky whales, or what do you call them? I call them sky whales, but like, is there anything like bigger or scarier?
There are wyverns in these lands. Ancient stories tell of dragons. I have never seen one here in these lands.
On like that note, there was a white dude, kind of looked like an orc, who attacked us on the way up here. Oh, I can't remember what those people are called again.
Orog.
Orog, yeah, that one. What you know about them? They seem to think that Ager's their god.
They are fools. They are prone and weak creatures that bow to the first sign of greater strength that they see.
Sounds like somebody else I know. Sorry. Cough.
We are 5 and we are 1, Ruslam. Cool it.
Yeah, Reslam, yeah, we should, because one rogue tribe, we should just risk everybody else.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. What?
The Orogs, as you call them, they live lower on the mountain. Ager is not their god. They simply began to worship when they heard of heralds of Ager come and preach of his strength, and so they too in turn chose to worship it. They value strength, but they are slaves to it. The moment they see someone they perceive stronger than them, they will bow freely to them.
No,
Yeah, that definitely happened. We kind of whooped their asses. And then, you know, they made a pact, yeah, that, to stop being such complete dickheads in some regards. I don't know, I guess I got an in with them.
Singun would ask Min to ask, are they trustworthy? Do they hold their word? The Orag?
Yeah, we made that pact. Does their word mean anything? Do they
Their
have a
word,
tribe,
their
or
word, they call themselves a tribe, a clan. Their word means everything to them until someone stronger
Oh.
offers them something else.
Cool. So basically what I got from this, you guys don't got any records that are old. You don't leave your mountain. And your only interaction with the Damocoses is, you know, they killed your tribe members from the other tribe.
Singun would pipe in your head.
Also about Ashfeld, pact maker.
They don't need to know about that. We know who that is.
Is this why you've taken us in and given us these trials? We are no servant of the nameless king, like Ashfeld Pact Maker. We are drifters, adrifters perhaps, from a land far away, shipwrecked, and with little on us but coin, gem, and blade. And yet, one of your scouts saw fit to carry us up here on mention of the fact that we are from lands beyond here. Why is it that you believe us, and why is it that you have taken us here? What do you gain out of this aside from 4 joyous names to celebrate and to pass the time with tales of?
Kazarin is going to look to Stoneleaper and give a quick nod. And Stoneleaper is going to walk to the other doors and seal them shut.
Yeah, guards in the one.
And you're going to see Delazar casting glyphs upon the doors.
Ooh. Can you please repeat what I did just miss on one thing though before?
What did you do?
Glyph? I missed, I didn't hear what you say.
Oh, I just said be on guard.
Oh.
They're like locking us in.
Oh. Shit. Okay.
Apologies. I just want to be certain no other prying eyes hear this.
He said prying eyes, guys. Prying eyes can't hear shit. These guys are idiots.
Everybody gets one?
Because there is a reason why I have gathered the tribe of Chisel and Moon, under one banner here.
Oh,
Something that was quite contentious when the king heard word. I assured it was simply a matter of beneficiary. Tribe of the Chisel helps build our structures. Tribe of the Moon gathers. That if we are all to be on this mountain together, this is the way to ensure that we need no resources or any desire to head below. But I have greater ambition. To try to raise all 8 tribes of Goliath under one banner. To stop the constant fighting that had plagued our tribes before, and unite us under one people. Because the 4 of you, with no alliances, who have walked into this land, I believe, with fresh eyes, have seen what others see, at what this nameless king has done to this land. We have not the strength to fight him ourselves. But if you can find a way, a weakness, a way to prove that victory is possible, then our tribes will stand with you and fight.
So should we come to you with an army of humans from the west, a dragon from the deserts to the east, or many wyverns, dwarves, elves, and the rest? Your hope is that we will do so, and that you'll fight.
Yes, but men and soldiers may not be enough. We need people to figure out this king himself. We need to know how he draws the power he does. We need to understand the city. We need to know that if we choose to fight, people will rise up against him as well.
Well, we know that there's some people that don't like him. And there's rumors of a resistance out there.
Well, I will not deny that coming here, one of the things I wish to do for myself is figure out this Ager and what bond the king has to him. And the thought of severing it is one that I would love to write down in a book of fables one day myself, but we have little idea of where to start.
Yeah, do you know of any great magics that could be of use? Like, what are your relationships with the other races? We know your relationship with the Nameless King. We got some of yours with the dwarves. What about the elves?
We hold no other relationships with any other people.
Okay.
We speak to the people of Bargor Doom when it is necessary, and when envoys are sent. Delazar is going to speak, though. In terms of places of magic, though, there are 2 locations. If you're looking for the history of Ager, that could be of worthwhile to you.
Aster pulls out a map, listens with rapt intention.
If you are going back to the beginning, 2,000 years ago, when, as the Nameless Ones would say, that their god Ager came to them and sealed and locked the demons away and saved them, there are 2 places of note. The first, to the far southwest, Cinderfall Crater, is the location where the demons reportedly first entered this land. And from that eruption, they came and created their plague. The second is far to the southeast, the Shattered Islands and the Maw. The massive unending whirlpool, where it is said that Ager first descended out of this land, and where they brought and hid all the demons and exiled them once more. Perhaps the Maw is a portal outside the mists, Or perhaps it is simply an unending whirlpool. Constant storms and mist blocking. As well, other information that may, if you believe that Ager passes from king to king. You may know of the one that they called Gabriel Damacos, father of Lucius. You may not have. We have heard of Lucius's son, though, as well. No more than 10. Callum. For even if you were to kill Lucius Damacos, what logic would dictate that the power of Ager and the myths and would simply fall to Callum.
The macabre suggestion of this is obviously that the entire Damocos line would have to be wiped out, but what about more distant family?
In terms of the family tree of Damocos, I cannot speak to that. But if you listen as their legends state, from heir to heir is how Ager passes. We have heard of the statue on our own mountain that states as much.
The faith I place in that claim is little, as that claim by itself guarantees the Damocos a right to rule ad infinitum. Should Ager be passed on any other way, suddenly their legitimacy is questioned. And I see little willing to risk their whole world to bring the Damocos line to an end and lose the protection of Ager entirely, if it cannot be passed another way.
That I cannot help you. You must find others fluent in the ways of the past to have those answers.
I'm a sailor. Sea gods are capricious as any, and I doubt that they would be bound by this. This is intriguing. So say we head on to the south or the east and we find this origin of Ager, sever the power. What then? Then another army is needed. Weakening of the defenses of the capital. There are only 5 of us, and we are as one. We will not split to accomplish these tasks separately.
I mean, I'll split.
It is written in the stars that should you split, you will immediately perish.
For now,
I don't much care about your stars.
Aster mumbles something under his breath, but he won't say it out loud.
For now, Catherine speaks, I see several options, several paths in front of you. We will stay here, and I will continue to speak with the other tribes. But you could continue through the mountains and speak to them yourselves. Try to rally more of the tribes to our cause. You could investigate the origin the origin or the ending of the demons at Cinderfall Crater or the Great Maw. Or return to Aerillon and find what you can about the king, how the people will help in an uprising, and anything else that the records there may show. Perhaps within the castle itself, more documents exist. Something that will provide more light, but all we can promise is if you bring real proof, if you bring a chant, we will stand with you.
And should we in the end prove victorious, what do you gain? Other than death, of course, for it will not be a bloodless conflict.
We do not fear death. We are happy to fight for a worthy cause. We would hope to earn full rights, that we may travel and go as we please, to claim these full mountains for our own, to not have to worry of an envoy coming and inspecting our numbers and debating on whether we are too bloodthirsty or not. We would have our freedom.
Why us? Why not you? You ask us to go to the other tribes to band together?
I will continue to do such. I merely offered if you wish to continue to the other mountains and act as emissaries too, but I will continue to be working.
So you've never
If
tried.
you leave,
Sorry.
my goal... Sorry, go ahead there.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I wasn't.
If you leave, I will continue to send emissaries and to continue to work in secret to speak with the other tribes.
So they already know of your plan right now.
There are select few. For their own safety, they are known not to divulge any of this to the king. But all of them currently are hesitant. Us Goliath, we are proud people, strong people, and none wish to serve under another. I tried to explain to them, it is not about serving under me, it is about uniting together. But it is not something that comes easy.
You all sound arrogant.
We are to be catalysts, Reslam. Catalysts for change. Do you remember those two, well, I guess it was three, they had a child. The farmers we stayed with on one of our first few nights here. How they were wary of strangers, afraid of the unknown, those who work with and not with the king. It is not unlike that. We come as a breath of fresh air, a chance of change, a lifeboat for these people drowning in Ager's Sea.
Call it as you like. We have shared goals. That is enough for me.
Then I will call you allies. Is there any other questions? Sorry, go ahead there.
You're calling us allies. You want us to help you lead a fight in a war of people you will fight beside and die beside you. But you won't let our companion in the room. What happens when we bring other nameless ones to the fight?
We trust you. We do not need to trust them.
Yeah, I do. I mean, if they're at your flank and they're keeping the king's men away, well, if you push forward, if no one's got your back, you're dead.
If you tell us these men and women, these nameless, will stand and fight beside us, then we will fight with them as they were our own.
And if
So
we
will you
tell you
speak with
each...
them? You need to be open to these other people. If you think you need their help, if the mighty Goliaths need the help of others to fight their battle.
It's not their battle, it'd be the other people's battle too. It's everybody's battle.
Make a persuasion roll there, man.
I don't disagree. But 19 on the die is 21.
What are you suggesting then? That we...
I'm just making sure that you don't ostracize those who come to help and that you are open to their opinions and will speak with them.
Kazran is just going to stay still for a moment. He's going to turn and sign once more to Beta, who has been quiet this entire time. And Aster you will recognize as they speak. And Kazran is essentially saying, how can we choose to ally and speak with those that we do not know, but expect to fight with them? I cannot lead, I cannot fight with soldiers if I cannot command them myself. But we must follow the old ways. And Beta responds that perhaps if we are to ferry in a new civilization, we must change and adapt our own culture as well. You would have me speak to Nameless? I would have there be a world where our son does not have to fear them. Your companion. Bring him in.
I guess I'll warn Reslam, a Singorn, that they're coming to get him and not to fight them.
Yeah, the seals on the doors and stuff, like Aster might get up to go do that, and like he'll go towards the door and like, oh shit, there's magic there.
Question, Sean.
Yes?
Most likely, I hope so. I think so. Single would have had time to craft another piece of his armor, I suppose, while he waited.
Yes.
Okay.
About this point, 5 hours have passed.
Okay.
And so, after some time, a guard comes and escorts you, Singorn, through the hall to this place, to these chambers, with the doors locked and sealed once more.
All right.
Kazran is just going to stand staring at you, Singorn. You are not Goliath.
He's not moving.
You may speak
Obviously.
and respond to me.
I am not. I am a dwarf.
But you are not a member of our tribe, as your comrades are.
Indeed, I have failed your trial.
You are not of my tribe, but you are not an enemy.
Never been.
What is your name?
I have none.
What is the name that you are called?
I call myself Singorn Spine Snapper.
And
I will not be-
you actually, oddly enough, you'll, in not too much of a provocative way, but he will bow.
I do not recognize your last name, but I will call you Singorn.
Fair enough.
If we are to fight with humans and elves and dwarves and others, they may not be of our tribe, but we will fight alongside of them when the time comes.
I understand. Very gracious of you, Lord Cloudhunter.
So, where will you go now? What will you do?
I have been out of the loop. Why cannot respond?
Well, I believe to speak, our first step is to head back down. As payment for a task we were given by the leader of the dwarves of Bargordum, we were given many fine little gemstones, some of which were false. To preserve our reputation and our chances aligning with the people of these places, I will ensure that none of what we have paid for anyone is false as such.
And there are people, the dwarves there seem not to be strong fans of the king. He has taunted and debased them and forced them to seek help at great cost. So perhaps we could seed some more allies there.
Good catch, Brendan.
Are there any other questions that you have for me tonight?
Oh, I have one. Does anybody else have a serious one?
So you don't have any way for us to just like, get through that mist? Just double checking.
The mist, like the mountain itself, is unpassable. You cannot break through it.
Fuck. Well,
He's going to tilt his head a bit at that because it's like, well, dwarves.
Well, I suppose if I can ask a question. What does one have to do to go get a chance at having their hand bitten off by a rock?
Do you wish to fight a rock?
Oh, no, I would much prefer to talk with one, in fact. Well, talk to one. I would need some time to rest to be able to speak with one back and forth. I believe. I don't know exactly what kind of beasts they are. My circle, well, in part revered them, but rocks are. I would like to see a rock up close. I would hope not to die, or fight it.
That can certainly be arranged. That can certainly be arranged in the morning. We have a symbiotic relationship with the rocks on this mountain. We protect and fight with them. They are our allies, not pets, not beasts. They have lived for the centuries, and the rocks that we fly on today will live long after we are all in the dirt.
I would expect no less from such a legendary creature.
Okay. Unless anyone has anything else, we will retire for the evening. I will think on what you have said, and I suggest you think on what I have said.
We all got our names from our trials. How did you get your name?
From a trial myself. My trial was to leap onto the back of an untamed rock. And not only did I do such and survive, but I managed to actually steer and fly the creature with an ease that none else in my tribe had ever accomplished, earning me the name Cloud Hunter.
Oh, wasn't there a guy with like a badass name, like a storm killer or something like that? I don't remember.
Keen Fighter, Quake Fist, Stone Leaper, Wise Finder.
Oh, good.
Okay. And if anybody has no other questions.
No, I'm good. Let's get off this. Let's pitter patter. We got an army to raise.
Well, first we have lore to find. Lore Walker.
Well, no. If we get the men's and then we cut the and then we sever the thing, Because if we sever the thing before we get the men's, they can reconnect the thing.
Well, it might be better to find out how to sever the thing before we assemble an army. If it takes a year to sever the thing, we do not want to have 4 armies at the ready. It gives it only more time for the conspiracy to be discovered. Perhaps.
Singuin would nod at that.
Okay, that sounds less fun, but okay. But if it takes a year, I'm not reading books for a year.
Well, perhaps then as 5, we each go off and do one thing, individually, as one.
I like that. Like, as long as there's something to do, I can't read books for a year.
Well, I seeing as it is very late in the night, I suppose most of us should get some rest, though, while I have the chance up here.
What's the weather outside? Is it clear or is it cloudy?
It is still a fairly clear summer evening. Quite chilly up atop of the mountain. Maybe about 10 degrees.
Aster's gonna stay up longer than he should, filling out some of his star charts with the celestial knowledge upon the peak of this mountain.
I just want to walk around and see what's up with all these Goliaths. What their the village looks like, how they get along with each other, like the ones from different tribes. Are they intermixed at all, or are they all within like their own living quarters?
Sure. As you wander around, many of them have retired for the evening with the evening festivities. The ones who are up, even from the festivities themselves, you recognize each of the Goliaths do appear to carry different tattoos. The more white and black are the tribe of the rock. The tribe of the moon appear to have more darker blue and light blue tattoos mixed in. And the tribe of the chisel have grays and black stone tattoos etched upon them. They do all appear to be working with each other. There does not appear to be any hierarchy in terms of the tribe of the rock having higher status or, better looking residents than any other tribes. All of them do appear to actually get along very well with one another. There appears to be actual unity.
Cool. Thank you.
I'm following Aster to go just lie down on the peak and listen to his stories as he writes.
You should probably get some sleep, Reslam, but there will be more for us to discuss once we descend the mountain.
I'm fine.
That's fair. And Aster will just point out new stars. You see that one? I'm calling it the I don't know, the diamond or whatever. And I don't know yet what it does.
Call him Reslam if you wanted to. What about that one over there?
I don't know. You see those two sort of down to the left? I think it almost looks like the ears of a rabbit. What about you? Rabbit? Maybe the beak of a duck? Not very noble stars, are they?
No, not like at home.
And then there's... The interesting thing is that I don't see any that would necessarily represent Ager. Though there's a series there that could look like tentacles, but I feel I'm reading a little too much into it. Connect any series of stars and a tentacle is probably the most obvious constellation. So
What do the stars say of our alliance with this tribe?
the stars say different things for each of us.
Go on.
They bode well for you and Flex, poorly for Singorn and Min, and I see that has fairly faithfully borne out.
I will protect you all with my life. screw the stars, as I've said before.
I greatly appreciate that. As much as I may project an air of uncaring astronomer, I would very much prefer not to die and continue to have the opportunity to chronicle the exploits of you heroes.
Well, if I've proved anything in the last 48 hours, is that I will not let you die.
Well, perhaps let's get us some sleep. Let's get down the mountain and maybe we'll see if we can salve your, let's see if we can mend some scars through future conversation.
Scars tell us of our pains that have passed.
They do, but these ones are significantly less impressive. These are scars that hold true only through the stories. Aster sort of pats his chronicle. They will not be shown in the statues that will be made of you years down the line. Haha.
No statues will be made of Reslam.
Well,
except for the one we just broke. There was a statue about a couple days ago. But,
well, I mean, perhaps we should make sure that we've got one that isn't actually you.
Oh, we shall see.
Although I suppose you said you didn't feel any time pass. No. I wonder if one of us was old. If I were old, would you take me to one of those creatures, petrify me, and then slay it and put me up on some town square somewhere?
If that was your wish.
Nobody would have to know that it was really me.
Oh, that would have been the best. That would be the best trick of my time.
All right. You'd be a little heavy for me to carry, but if you wanted, I'd do the same for you.
I appreciate it. But there'll be no statues just yet.
Oh, of course not.
I'm not too worried if this land remembers me. It's not why I'm here.
Then, you seem not necessarily ambivalent to the idea of a statue, but you seem a little opposed. Why exactly is that?
No one needs to remember me. If you do not know who I was, if you do not fight alongside me, I have no desire to be looked at by strangers. It means nothing and is shallow.
Well, Aster Sterling should remember you.
Aye.
Alamandretta Telemon should remember you. Singorn Spine Snapper. Flex McMassive. All of us should remember you.
And if I am to go before or after all of you, will a statue change your memories of me?
It might help preserve them.
No.
Do you not find it odd, perhaps? And Aster looks around almost a little conspiratorially. How little of your life before the fog do you remember? The faces of your family, your kin that you have left behind, your foes. All of it. Faded, gone. These images.
Funny enough, my time in the forest, my time alone, has wiped my memory of those faces.
Your time in the forest, then?
Yes.
You say that has survived the fog?
Yes.
You could clearly elucidate to me a single day, even a single day of your time there.
Depends on the detail you're looking for, my friend.
That's fair. It's... Sorry. Never mind.
No.
Let's chart some of these stars and head to sleep. It's been a very, very long day, and that soup is not sitting well at all.
It's not sitting well for me, and I can usually handle my weird meats, if you know what I'm saying.
I feel like we'll be having a very intimate relationship with whatever they use for chamber pots up here.
Well, as long as we don't have to share.
Aster's like under his fur. Aster's face pales a little. I had not thought of that. Oh, okay.
And if we do have to share, fight to the death to see who goes first, eh, my friend?
I will throw myself off the mountainside sooner than share.
You would not want to go after me.
I know that was my implication. Indeed.
And then
Alright,
I'll just grab my axe and we'll start to walk back down.
Astral slap Ruslam on the back and we'll...
That evening as well, once you begin to retire, Kazarin is going to come to you, Flex. Flex, may I have a word with you in private?
Absolutely. Wow, he's calling me Flex, not the name that they gave me? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay, hit me with it.
You are a strong one, Lore Walker.
Yep. Yep, that's true.
And your story has already been passed through our village. You would be a wise asset for us moving forward and a way to convince the future other tribes, to join with us. And so I ask you, would you leave your ally and come stay with us?
You know, I just can't do that.
You could be a commanding general of our forces.
Yep, and that sounds pretty great. But I am a man of the people. And when I say of the people, I mean of everybody. So I figure my talents are best served helping everyone that I can. So I can't stay cooped up on a mountain for too long. That and the human one, she's kind of small. She needs to go home.
I understand. If you change your mind, know there will always be a place for you here. While the others are Goliath by right of the trial, you are Goliath by right of trial and blood. You will always have a place here.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate the hospitality. You know, despite what the others think, I kinda, or how they feel. I think you guys are pretty. They seem to kind of really give you guys the screws there, if you know what I mean. But I get your decisions.
It is not enough to want to make one decisions for myself. I need to make decisions that are right for a large group of people. That is something that I don't believe your friend understands. Perhaps you will one day.
Maybe someday, but he's young. He's a young lion. He'll get there. I don't have any doubts, but you got a nice tribe here. Got a lot of stuff going, but I ain't impregnating none of them. Just so you know, that's not going to be a.
I assumed as much. You must understand, when strength is valued above all else, any way to have one's own child become stronger. A mother, family will do whatever they can to ensure that happens.
Oh, I know, but everybody wants a taste. You know, they all just want a little taste, but they can't handle it.
If you simply tell them that it is not right on this time, that you are weary from creating legend, they will surely understand.
Good to know. I don't wanna offend anybody, but they don't get a ride. This here mountain coaster, you know.
Well, I will retire now for the evening, but we will speak further in the morning.
Sounds good. Sleep well.
Okay. Is there anything else that any of you wish to do this evening before you retire? To speak to each other, or
do we wanna have a group get together?
If we can.
Because Flex, after everything, is gonna, regardless if we get together, he's gonna find Aster and be like, the king did give us a trial, and the trial was to kill those people, and we didn't do it. And if we failed that trial, he was going to kill us, and he's just going to run away.
What we do next year? Aster goes back to drawing some stars.
Oh, and Ruslin's gonna chase after Flex and be like, remember that time you were gonna go and kill that guy because of honor, and no matter what, you were gonna fight him, even if it meant that you were gonna die and all of us were gonna die too. You didn't care because it had to do with honor. And then Ruslin's gonna run away in the other direction.
You guys were going to die, only I was going to die.
You know he'd kill all of us. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Aster would like to cast Druidcraft to determine what the next 24 hours of weather is going to be.
Little cloudy, light rain in the evening.
All right.
Oh, please, yeah, you missed an opportunity to just turn into like a medieval radio host. It's like, good afternoon, everybody. I hope you're looking forward to your drive to Mortar Down. Sorry.
Your cart ride tomorrow on the way to the fields.
You're headed down Borgardoom Mountain. When you're heading down 10,000 feet, you better be wary of a snowstorm that's been coming in with a 47% chance of rain.
That's right. And haha, Ager be praised.
And now a message from our sponsor. Do you believe in Ager? If you don't, be ready to jump off this mountain. If you do,
if you
Ager
don't,
be
we'll
praised.
kill you.
Sounds like a commercial from a really bad Gran Turismo game. Sorry, continue. Gran Turismo, Grand Theft Auto, Jesus Christ. Oh, continue. That was my one.
Well, didn't you already have your one?
No, I called you out on your one, but we shall continue.
Well,
I mean, calling out the DM on his one is one.
I mean, if we want to talk about calling out the DM.
Wait, what? There was a very sly look that just
The
occurred
rocks
there.
were pets. How did he jump on an untamed one? You only tame pets, Sean. That they were allies.
Everybody gets one. Okay, so are we talking as a group, or are we doing the quick? We quickly yell at things at each other and run away to our own rooms.
Before anything, 5-minute break, everybody.
Cool.
Alrighty.
Good shit. A lot of fun.
Yeah, no, we should just have this conversation where we just say like what we want to say, listen to nothing else, and run away. This is my point. Take it and leave it. Just take it and go.
Oh.
I mean, it could be productive. I mean, if somebody just runs past you with a rebuttal and it just goes around in circles.
Please don't.
It just takes longer.
Oh. Tyler, I clearly need to turn down my tank.
It is fucking aggressive, my man. Just put it lower, I guess. But
You know what it is? That the app is always it doesn't always save my edits to the.
I mean, I don't know if you really need to. Oh yeah, because that's not. Wait, do you have your wave maker directly underneath the output?
Yeah. I think it's also.
I mean, that's fine. Never mind. That's not that bad then. I thought that was just the wave maker making all that. I thought it was all like internal water exchange. No, that's fine. That'll get you. Otherwise, I don't know how much oxygen you need in the water. And like,
Lots.
does coral produce?
Yeah. Coral on the fish does. It has a big. It has a big impact on your pH. And mine pH needs to be like 8.2. It's also on a pulse mode right now, so it's like ramping up really quickly, really high, and then turning off.
Gotcha.
Every 60 seconds or every second.
I mean, who cares right now? Right now, you're just trying to get everything moving around, right?
I know, but it keeps moving the sand. As you can see, it was all flat at one point. Now there's like a big mound right there.
Like, it's not bad because it looks natural, but is the mound's right at the very front, and then it gets lower at the back?
No. The mound. Yeah, the mound is actually more into the middle of the tank, like protected by the rocks.
Does it still look good? Like, obviously, you want the mound more at the back if it's going to mound anywhere, right? But
Yeah. I don't mind it.
where's the intake?
At the top on the one side right there. Intake is on this side, and then it goes down, and it comes up into chamber 2, and then it goes down into chamber number 3. It's all in
But
the
wait,
back.
the intake and the outtake are both like at the top. They're just one's on the left, one's on the right.
Yeah. The intake is like it skims right on the top.
Oh, so it's your protein skimmer too.
Well, the protein skimmer will go in the back chamber. So it's an all-in-one tank, right? So
Yeah,
there's a piece of glass that separates the front.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's what I want to get for my shrimp.
Check out Waterbox. They're sweet.
Well, when I have to build a registry, that's what we shall do.
Put a fish tank on your registry. Do it.
Sarah
Do
put,
it.
what did she call them? Freezer? No. Airtight freezer. Some type of like Tupperware that's like $100.
What if I just got you like $100 worth of vibrators?
I would love a magic wand.
I was gonna say that's not a whole lot of vibrators.
No,
Okay,
Yeah,
so that,
it's like
that
one.
might not be one vibrator.
yeah, it depends.
I don't know. I bought a vibrator for like $15 once.
Could get you one of the ones that are like the
a dragon
remote, the
tail?
wireless ones, so you can have it in while Sarah's working, and she can.
Just Tyler like playing D&D. All of a sudden he's
Yeah,
like,
playing
hello.
D&D.
Oh, that would be
Did you
funny.
guys see the meme I just posted?
Which one?
Where?
Something has
Lobby.
changed within me.
Movie?
Uh, Norm MacDonald passed away today.
I know.
Yes, he did.
R.I.P.
All right, so at this point, I will leave this to you guys whether you wish to do this in character or out of character, because options and ideas have been presented to you.
In character, always in character.
Let's keep in character then.
Aster would prefer that we have this conversation in the morning after everybody slept.
That's fine. Fine with me. Everybody think on
really go to
think on
bed
it over
for,
and sleep on it.
Yeah, like a lot of
Now-
people have said stuff to each other that they kind of want to like say and then leave. So it'd be weird if we then all like grouped back up in like a big huddle.
Mhm.
Feels like the energy would be kind of weird. Until the morning.
Now, as far as your sleeping arrangements, there is actual bedding arrangements for all of you, except for Singorn, as
Mhm.
Kazan will explain. While he may speak and recognize you in some way, they are not yet ready.
The rules are rules. He knows it.
Aster will
But what the little window he has that he's out of that cage, he's going to pester Aster for a freaking good berry. Feed me. I'm hungry.
You-
It smells so good.
Oh,
we didn't leave one for
damn
you?
it. Was gonna say, never mind. It's too late now.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's
When Aster
Aster
wasn't
would
finished
actually
his food.
Aster would actually like prefer to sleep in the cell where he spent the previous night.
Okay.
Flex will find if there's lodging for him. He's gonna go sleep in the bed
Okay.
or whatever it is. The bedding.
Yeah, there's essentially not really it's not a hotel. It's essentially a log cabin with 10 different sets of bunk beds in the room. There are a number of other Goliaths passed out in the other beds.
Yeah, bed's a bed. Sleep in bed.
All right.
If Aster and Singorn are in the different cells, we're a couple cells over, Aster's gonna be like, I can't quite reach you, good berry. I don't know why that's my voice all of a sudden. Aster's like kind of reaching over, And unless for some reason he can't, Aster will just turn into like a small cat or something, slip through the bars of the cage, and then go join Singorn in his cell and give him a good berry.
I'm not locked in.
Pardon?
You're not locked in.
But just for, shit disturbing sake.
Okay.
Mostly just to cheese Singorn off.
I don't think it would cheese him off too much.
Well, anyways, you have a good berry.
Thank you so much.
Oh, cool. I have 9 good berries now.
Thank you so much.
All berries are good berries.
Do you not? Do you not have your rations? Like your food's on you. We didn't eat all our food on the way up. Like,
It smelled too good. I was hoping there'll be leftovers. There's none.
I'll cook you something myself when we get back down the mountain.
Oh, please. The good berry, as satisfactory as it was, it did not hit that food flavor. No. Sorry.
Doesn't.
Drunk meat. It makes you feel funny.
Dawn arrives, or sleep happens.
Dawn arrives, and you all slowly make your way back towards the cell once more, where Singorn and Aster have just awoken.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
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 Aster will pop a minty fresh goodberry to clear out his morning breath.
Wait,
Well-
they taste like mint?
Yeah, they're like little minty gum
Oh,
gum resin drops.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
it's like chewing 5 gum.
Yeah, it's 5 gum, except it fills you for a whole day.
And for 20 HP. Sorry, continue.
4.
Hey,
4.
Singorn's going to start like just preparing to do his usual ritual in the morning, but he's just like,
Well, anything from Vert with Min? Any plans? What would we decide on? What is our plan of action?
Bargordum.
Bargudum sounds like a good start, yes. But afterwards,
Why are we going back there?
Well, it's down
making
the
sure
mountain.
that our debt has been fully paid.
Also, the only place to go off the mountain, I believe.
Well, we
Probably
might
down, I believe. So
be able to have the rocks carry us elsewhere, but
you guys have that much influence now?
perhaps the 5 of us do. I'm not sure. It's just an option.
Well, after we go back down there, then what? Where are we headed? What's next?
Boats.
What are all the options again that you all see? I think we got go see the other Goliaths. That's probably the bottom of my list.
As you had suggested earlier, west to Aerillon, the city of perhaps traitors. There's Cinderfall Crater and the seas east of the Crucible, to the south, to the north, what have you. There's other peoples that will know other things of Ager. There's the mountains, jungle elsewhere, but those 3 would be our leads. Shattered Isles, Cinderfall Crater, or Aerillon.
Do you have perchance a map on you, Asta? I'd just like to have a quick look at it.
Yep. It's pinned in the Liberation of Aerillon group chat in the DMs. I can
Yes.
post it again. But
in our
here's
world,
the map.
yes, it is.
There you go. Boom.
In that world, you have the maps. Give me the maps.
Um,
There you go.
the other thing that has interested me is it appears that Misty Thicket and Cloud Lake to the south north have perhaps remnants of the fog that surrounds these lands
but inland. It might be a good place to examine the fog and see what it truly is.
Sorry, did you say the southeast or west?
North by this.
Oh,
north by
north.
this record, sorry.
Naval? Is that what you speak of?
Cloud Lake. It's a lake, Singer, and I know you lived down underground. It's a big collection of water.
Listen, I'm good at hearing. I'm bad at listening. Okay, I have a hard time processing things.
It's the lead.
For the 1000th time, it is not the point.
It's probably the lead.
Single glares at y'all.
We see him glaring? I thought we just see his eyes.
Well, you see his eyes, they're red, so you can see. Yeah, you can see like there's a it's not a
Did you go to
red
the
circle.
modeling school of Tyler Banks where you learn to glare and smile with your eyes?
Well, you see through the helmet.
Well, seeing as we don't have any ship's passage, who wants to go see a volcano?
That does tickle my fancy there.
I made this call to come up here, so I'm down for whatever. Somebody else pick a point.
I would love to hear you voice what would your conclusion be after coming up here. What answers have you found that you feel? Would you mind sharing with us what you have in mind?
I mean, I got all the answers I needed.
Hey, where would that lead you next?
I don't know, we had many options. So if people are like, hey, we should go to the volcano, then I say we go to the volcano.
I understand, but all I'm asking is not for you to lock in this as vote right now, but just to voice your opinion. I'd like to know, what do you think of this?
Yeah, I have no preference. That's what I'm getting at. I don't really care. I'm just happy that this turned out and we gained some allies.
Okay. Are you motivated to find more allies? Is that a direction in which we could maybe perhaps go? I'm, again, not saying we're locking this in, but just I'm inquiring because I want to know, what do all of us want to do? Let's put this on the table, nice and clear.
Well, I mentioned going out and finding allies, but then Aster also mentioned, well, we should probably try and figure out how to shut down the king first. And so going to the place where we might be able to learn something about that makes the most sense. Because if we go and get the allies first, then there could be a lot of waiting. He made a lot of sense. It's like putting the carriage in front of the horse.
Ooh, nice analogy. I like it. Okay, good.
So, well, my preference is absolutely to go get allies, because that seems more fun. Logic and the stars say we should do this. So I'm going to trust my ally, just like everybody trusted me to come up the mountain.
Thank you. Okay, that's nice and clear. Muslim, what do you wish to do?
I had to tinkle, so Reslam missed the last 8 minutes.
West Aerillon.
I have to go tinkle as well, so you take over.
Sorry.
Let's just take. I mean, we took a 5-minute break, but let's take another 5-minute break to just get everybody.
No, I'm back. I'm sorry.
No. But Jerry needs to head out for a second. Let's just wait till everybody's back and.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Can we sorry.
I'll get.
Can we draw shit on a map? Because we've got the Cinnafall crater is the volcano option.
Correct.
There's go talk to the other Goliaths. There's go to Aerillon.
To the far west, which is that city of traders that has been rumored.
Were there any others that I'm just blanking on?
There was
Southeast.
also the going southeast to the Maw.
The Maw, the Shattered Isles.
The Maw seems like the last resort, but the Shadow Isles of the Crucible. Sorry,
Yeah,
we
don't
or
have
returning to Aerillon to speak and get information from the city there.
Yes.
I think we should go back to Aerillon and secure transport.
What do we know anything about the Misty Thicket?
Well, and that was one of the other things Aster wondered is, if my recollection is correct, the Misty Thicket and the Cloud Lake have fog that is theoretically from like the fog wall.
Sorry, repeat that.
The Misty Thicket and Cloud Lake have fog that it's not like normal fog. It might not necessarily be the same fog that surrounds this whole place, but there is something special about the fog.
Correct.
Yeah. So that was another place that we could go to examine the fog.
What's in Nim's stand?
You, the little bit I think you'd gotten from is that to be a place where a number of the gnomes have taken residence.
Like the Lollipop Guild gnomes?
Then on the way down, or maybe on the way back from Cinderfall, we make friends with the gnomes. Maybe the gnomes have a bone to pick with this guy too. And where are the elves? Where are the elves?
Elves don't appear to have any specific residence. Most of them appear to reside in Aerillon.
Right.
I got a question. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
No, you go ahead. No, go ahead, Dom.
I was just, weren't there elves that we heard of that went to the east, or am I crazy?
You are crazy. There are some small, nomadic elves that do reside in some of the woods and places, but in terms of like kind of like a specific elf location, 90% of the elves reside in either towns or in Aerillon.
Okay. Any other races of note?
Vordarul, which is unconnected to the kingdom. It's on the north end of the East Divide.
Yep. And what's Vor again?
More dwarves?
More
You knew
dwarves?
that to be another dwarven. You didn't have a lot of information from it, just that it was another dwarven.
Okay, I figured as much. What do we know about the Crucible again?
The Crucible.
On that?
The Aegirian said that the demons were locked, and it is taboo, like it is verboten.
No, isn't that where priests of Ager go to like prove their metal?
That is correct.
Mhm.
Specifically a location for high priests of Ager.
Yeah.
What about the Moonlight Fissure?
Oh yeah.
You don't know much about that at all.
That's what they call it when I pull my pants down at night.
Okay, cool. What about the jungle?
There's a west jungle and a jungle up by the mountains.
No, there's only one
Pennoth
jungle. Pennoth jungle.
No,
There's also the Zealot jungle. Yeah.
Oh, there isn't a Zot. Thank you. Sorry.
There's and there's the Abyssal Jungle as well. Right next to Vordahar. No, am I looking at the
There's
wrong
the
one?
third jungle. Look at you.
Where do you see this?
It's in small print. You may have an older map, Tom.
Right beside Moonlight Fissure.
It's it's between Moonlight Fissure and Vordahar.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got
I
those
need a
ones.
flashback question to like 10 sessions ago.
Yeah.
When we came back to Aerillon after all the people died, the people were rejoicing because they had food again, right?
Yes.
That was the thing. How dire was the food situation in Aerillon?
Aerillon didn't seem to be as dire. The essential.
Well, just because people were celebrating. Who was celebrating?
Oh, just that other towns aren't going to have to worry about food. Like that's a good thing. Just people who know people from.
So
plus, that's where like higher food stores for.
Yeah, the first issue we had was the king was overtaxing places to get food, but then we find out that food actually went to places that needed it. Is my question. So we kind of just stepped by it because we had just been like, it was a very traumatic experience of the king saying they killed all these people for me.
Yeah,
you never got a lot of information after, but
no, I fear our next hurdle is going to be like, these guys weren't hard to get them to understand. Well, they were, but there's nothing negative about us. Whereas we're gonna go down off of this mountain to these other towns where they're most definitely going to have heard of us.
Well, we've started seeding information in like Bargor Doom. Instead of Grimm's gang, we're the Adrifters. We've done kind things for them. There's that one farm family that we definitely helped out. Min gave all of our gold to the people in Andervale, so that was
No, but we killed the people that were killing
their whole town. We murdered everybody. Here, have 100
We
gold.
murdered the people that were murdering their food, and then they were starving because they weren't getting their food.
They may not see it that way, but
essentially, I'm trying because of information you did and did not ask. You did not know exactly who was affected more by the food shortage in Aerillon.
Yeah. All I'm saying is that some people would still see us as heroes, not just like the king's people. The way the story that the king wrote and told people did paint us in a favorable light, although albeit a harsh light.
That is a reasonable assumption to make.
So Craven and the do we know anything about Craven right above Cloud Lake?
Caravan?
Caravan?
I don't
Karakan?
think so.
Do we know anything
there
about
was something mentioned about the last lookout, I think.
And-
Caravan.
And
Yeah, the
then-
last lookout was mentioned this thing.
So
Yes, the last lookout was mentioned as what appeared to be an ancient wartime spire used to, look on to potential raiders or the like that would have come through. It's a massive, 100 feet tall spire that still stands, although, clearly very decrepit.
is it currently outside of our skill level? Like, is it like a level 10 quest and we're only level 5? Am I allowed to ask
That's
that
an interesting question to ask. That's a weird
That is-
question.
That is not something I can. One of the things I specifically when I brought up with this, there are going to be places you guys can travel to that there is no level. This is a game, but it is not a video game.
Okay.
There are no.
So we're not going to put ourselves into a situation where it's just immediate death, like a drag.
I never said that either.
It's possible that we can cheese our way out of any situation, Josh.
Okay.
I am sure, Josh, if there was a situation where there would be immediate death, we would have warning of it. Maybe like it's a giant.
And the narrator says, except the next time.
Yeah, like remember when we went and we fought that giant basilisk and ended up almost getting TPK'd by 3 others? We totally saw that coming.
Well, I mean, we did. We were like, wow, we sure we want to fight one? No, we don't really want to fight one. Let's just see if we can kill it with a mirror. And then we came, you guys decided, fuck the mirror, let's just fight 3.
Okay.
I did not say fuck the mirror. I
we
tried to
did.
use the mirror.
We did slowly start to run away, just not efficiently enough.
Before we totally digress.
So, but like it's like that, Josh. Like we could very well stumble into another situation like that where we probably shouldn't be doing this.
Okay.
It will not ever be a situation unless, with a very good reason, like you come across an orc and you go to fight that orc and the orc kills you in one shot because it's a higher level orc. That's not how things go. But,
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, I have a character that would beg to differ, but go on.
So
who wants to go to Kraken's
We've learned and
Peak
grown
blow
from
it up?
that. Sorry, what's that?
Who wants to go to Kraken's Peak and blow it up because it's clearly the home of Ager's power?
Where's Kraken's Peak?
Northwest. Who wants to go blow up a mountain? Dwarf?
Blow
thought
up a
we were-
mountain?
North what?
I thought we were going to... The crater seems like a weird
What are you
place
talking
to go.
about? Tower to the heavens is
okay.
clearly where he gets his power.
No!
I think we should go to Aberron. But if we go to Aberron, Aerillon people might think ill of us. But we need to find out more information, which means we need to talk to more people. I don't think we should be going...
So
Anywhere
you want to go back to Aerillon first, and then either
I think
from
he said
there figure out
Aberron. Aberron or Aerillon?
Aberron.
I want to go to Aberron, but I don't think we can go there yet without basically, like, you cannot advance, and you cannot return if you advance further in this quest. Kind of a situation.
So why don't we go to the Hollow Mines in Erast? We're not far from Borgar Doom, right? We're just on those 4 mountains.
We're basically at Bargor Doom. We're in the mountain attached to it.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah,
we have to
the
go through
mountain right
Aerillon to get Arest, unless we wanted to go like
No, we're gonna
through the mountains.
We're gonna fly right over, right?
Also,
we got the birds.
nobody's answered me about if we know anything about the Pandath jungle.
We do not know.
No.
Okay, just cool. It's cool. Just making sense. I want to kind of investigate a volcano.
And
Blow
Cinderfall
up
crater.
Kraken's Peak. Got it.
Yeah, I mean, we can go to Nim's Stand and then to the volcano. We're talking about Cinderfall Crater. Is that the volcano?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one of like the two ideas we were kind of given was Cinderfall or the Maw. And the Maw seems like a terrible idea because look at it, it's fucking giant on the map.
Well,
Yeah,
we
the
also
Maw
don't
may be
have
a bad idea.
boats.
Where's the
Wait.
mall?
However,
Wait,
See that?
the Maw's in the far southeast.
It's very southeast.
Dom, can you just conjure up a bird and send it down the maw for us real quick?
I
shit.
don't know what will happen after it goes 100 feet away, unless it doesn't die.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I could also conjure up a squid,
That's Gweed.
a little squid.
I kind of
with
like
4 HP or something.
I kind of like this idea of heading from Bargordum because we want to go there anyways, right? And heading
Yeah.
down and go
Yeah.
go through Farwater into Nim's Stand, and going from Nim's Stand to Mollyworld.
I'm not seeing
Where's
some
that?
of
I'm not seeing any
these.
of those.
Yeah, we need to find the updated map again.
Oh, this is the old one? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You could look at my
is it in the Frontier Company or is it in the Frontier Company?
load up my
In the Liberation
stream.
of Aerillon.
Oh,
No, I think
Liberation.
it's Liberation of
Should be in
Aerillon.
Liberation of Aerillon, but
Oh, is
What
this the
Dom
new one?
posted.
do I need
was-
to post
Yeah.
you a?
Oh, I
The
have.
ones that I posted. Oh, the ones that I posted are the same. They're both mapped
Yeah.
at the end.
So if you load up my
Um,
stream,
Well, so the one thing I will say is the Maw we don't have boats to get to yet, and like maybe we could get them from Hadstone or wherever is on that shore, but we don't know that. We also might not be able to reach Cinderfall Crater.
Yeah, but we're going to Nim's
Yeah.
Stand, right?
Yeah,
That's
like
not-
we'll find that out as we get closer. but
Oh, I
that's
see what you're
something-
saying. Yes, Far Water, Nimstand,
yeah. So
Small
We
World.
landed at
Yeah,
Hadstone,
Mulworld.
so
There
we're
we
kind of
go.
like going back to where we landed, right?
Yeah.
yeah. But I think what we do is we go to these smaller towns and do a little
Yeah.
bit like investigating, but as well as like some side
If they need any
quests.
help.
Like these are
Yeah.
like we're trying to up our positive ranking.
A reputation.
a
Reputation
yeah.
in the land.
We have a reputation that we need to build.
Some positive
Yeah.
rep. But I think Farwater, Nimstand, Malworld, and then into Cinderfalls. And as well as
That
it looks
sounds
like there's
great.
some ruins right before you hit Cinderfall Crater. So I'm
Mhm.
wondering if we can
Yeah, well, because
investigate.
what do you think fucking happens to people who build near a volcano?
Well, I don't.
No, I'm just saying they deserve what they got.
They get covered in ash.
There's
and
also
die.
2 sets of
to it.
runes. There's a set of runes in there, and then there's another set of runes that kind of bridges the gap between the green grass and the ash.
Yep.
So,
Well, those ruins could just be there as decoration. There could be ruins all over,
yeah.
but those ruins probably mean something.
But I think that'd be
Okay.
an interesting journey.
To Nim's Stand we go.
Nim
Stop
Stand.
Are we
Let's go.
stopping at Aerillon to pick up horses and stuff, or do we hope to get that from Farwater?
Why do we need horses?
Maybe Bargordum has some. No, maybe not.
Listen, I don't feel like walking across an entire country.
I'll carry you.
I don't think we can get there a lot faster if we
What?
don't walk.
Yeah, but we'll level up our
Agility.
Stamina better?
endurance and our stamina, and
Yeah.
I never skip leg day. And what you're describing sounds like skipping leg day.
You can do squats on a horse. I believe in you.
You're
stand
already
on the
squatting
horse.
on a horse.
Yeah, but you like lift. You know.
No,
I get my
actually,
squats in
no,
one on the
no,
potty.
no. We are not going to Nim Stand. Nim Stand does not exist. We are never going there. Never, ever, ever.
What? Why?
No.
Men backwards.
Why?
No,
It's Min's.
I'm not hanging out with them.
No more gnomes.
With who?
No gnomes.
Well, we need to.
It's too late.
No,
We-
no.
Oh,
sorry, I'm
is that
not gonna-
Gnomes World? No.
No gnomes.
I'm
How
not
do you
gonna
know it's
say
a
anything.
Gnomes World?
The DM
We
told
know.
us it was.
Because the DM
That's
told
all.
us.
Oh, okay.
I'm intrigued
about
though.
that.
I would like to
Okay.
meet the gnomes.
You want to meet the gnomes? You do.
No.
Yeah, Reslam
No.
no before.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying now, Brendan. It just clicked. It just clicked.
No
Oh.
gnomes. No gnomes.
What happened?
I mean,
I need
we
some
might be able to
backstory.
learn something very important if we were to discuss with the gnome.
No gnomes.
I think Flex very specifically stated that he did not care and he had no sway in where we go next because we went where he wanted.
Oh shit!
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So-
That's very true.
So does the
No
group?
gnomes.
Sorry, character.
Does the group agree? Farwater, Nimstand, Malwhirl, and Cinderfall Walk Crater.
I
As for horses, I mean, it might shave a day off of a 4-day journey, it looks like, and taking horses through a forest is difficult as is. It might be easier on foot, and then we also don't have to worry about horses dying in an ambush or the like.
we could, but if we are to buy horses, if they to rent or to buy, we could drop them off at Farwater, and then from Farwater we walk on land towards Mallworld, going through Nimstand.
I think we're taking the birds directly to Farwater.
I think we should take a boat.
Well, we still kind of want to stop in Bargor Doom to make sure
Yeah,
we don't have anybody.
Let's take a boat.
Let's take a
We'll
boat,
figure out when
take
we
a
get to
barge.
Farwater.
DM,
The
can I
people
get a
of
quick
Farwater probably
check?
know the best way to get to the gnomes' quarters in Nimstand.
No gnomes.
I have a quick question. Can we just take the birds, fly to Bargor Doom, quickly walk into the shop and ask if all of his stones were real, and then get back on the birds and have them take us to Farwater?
I don't think the
Did he fly
birds
so
will be
far
mounted.
though?
Fast travel.
Yeah.
Do we even get the birds to Bargor Doom is the question. The birds might only
Unlikely.
take us down to the bell tower. Or the bell,
Oh yeah.
bell point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's start walking. No matter what, we gotta go to Bargor Doom first.
Yeah, we gotta go there
the
first.
idea-
That's a good idea. No
I
gnomes.
do like the idea of the barge, though, man, at Farwater. We could take it down the river.
Yeah.
I mean, who else will know more about Kraken Sea God than those who make their living on the water?
I'd love to chat
I
with some of my
mean-
sailing kin.
Sea god, people that live on a river, same difference.
Well, I mean, from what we saw in Aerillon, they have larger ships that can make their way down that river to the sea proper. So,
It's a different river.
is it a different river? Oh,
Yep.
I've got. Yep. Sorry, I see. Okay. On the map you guys are looking, that little river to the west of the main river, there's a little city on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Firewater.
okay, that's where Firewater is. Okie doke. I get it. I feel you.
Okay.
Sheffield. Yeah, no,
Shaw
cool. I look forward to.
Besides, if we're gonna go through the stills at some point, we might need to learn how to navigate the rivers
Treacherous
of this land.
terrain.
Wait, are we going through the stills? I thought we were going down Farwater.
At some point, we might want to go through the stills.
Oh,
All I'm saying is, I feel going to the gnome land is making an erroneous mistake.
I hear exactly what you're saying, and while I feel that that erroneous mistake would be very informative for us, you learn from your mistakes. I understand what you are saying.
I mean, come on,
And-
it's not like it's gonna be the Godfather. No one's gonna wake up with a horse head in their bed.
Did Flex like
Hmm.
impregnate a gnome or something? Is that why we're not going there? Or...
No, this
And-
isn't Flex.
This is.
Oh, it's you.
All of this as well. We are going to end the session there tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
Can Aster make friend Rock? Also, do we take Rock to place?
You can take the rocks. So, I don't want to. The rocks will take you no further than back to the bell tower.
I thought.
Okay.
They're